You're listening to episode 83 of the Play Therapy Community Podcast.
Welcome to Play Therapy Community Podcast, providing connection, information, and inspiration to child therapists all around the world. Here's your host, a licensed psychotherapist, a registered play therapist, and my mom, Jackie Flynn.
Hey there, Jackie Flynn here. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Play Therapy Community Podcast. I love meeting with you like this. It means the world to me that you're tuning in. We're connecting across the globe with a common thread, a common love for play therapy. Well, I'm excited to share today's episode with you. It's a conversation that I had with Fiona Hill. If you don't know about Fiona Hill yet, you are in for a treat. She is so much fun. Now, I met her recently, kind of recently at the time of this recording. We had together, I joined their one night of their a bunch of clinicians get together and they have Friday game night. And I really only joined it because Dr. Jessica Stone, it might have been Dr. Altvader, Rachel Altvader. She's definitely one of our leaders in this area as well. They invited me, and I was like, oh, that'd be fun to spend some time with them. I didn't know the other people. So when I signed on, neither one of them, Jess or Rachel, wasn't in the group. Immediately, I was like, I don't even know if I would have came. I don't know these people. They seem really nice, but I feel kind of nervous, and I'm not good at online gaming, these digital gamings. I'm good at online play therapy. It's one of my jams, but the digital gaming is something that I don't feel confident in. Well, it was like 10 minutes into it, and I felt so connected to these people. They were so fun. So I do want to talk about it kind of like through the lens of polyvagal theory. If you haven't heard about the polyvagal theory yet, definitely put it on your list of things to learn about, whether you're a clinician, whether you are an educator, whether you are just a human in this human experience. So I felt all of these cues of danger because things weren't familiar. They weren't predictable. I didn't even know what to expect. I'm like, I don't even really remember my Apple ID. How am I going to download a game? Well, long story short, I had this Among Us game downloaded, whatever you say, on my phone, and I was playing with them. I really didn't know what I was doing, but I was laughing and I was having fun. I was able to be in this like happy, engaged state, and also in this unfamiliar, kind of anxious state, this kind of nervous place, that sympathetic fight or flight through polyvagal theory. They defined the three states of the autonomic nervous system as ventral vagal, that engaged, that connected state, the optimal state. And then there's this fight or flight sympathetic state. That has activation, that has that felt sense of like maybe a tightness in the chest, fast heartbeat, knot in the throat, sometimes a feeling in your stomach. And then there's a shutdown state, numb state, that freeze. That one's referred to as dorsal vagal. None of them are good or bad or right or wrong. They're all really necessary. But what play does is it allows you to be in ventral vagal and sympathetic at the same time. And I definitely experienced that. And I grew my window of tolerance that day. I had so much fun. I made new friends. These people were so incredibly engaging. They were so accepting. I didn't even know what I was doing. And by the time I closed that Zoom call, because we were on Zoom and on the device, playing kind of like that we were alone but together type thing, my cheeks were tired from laughing. It was so fun, and I feel like I made new friends. Now, when we look at it through, let's look at it as play therapy. With play therapy, there's so many therapeutic benefits of play. If you haven't read the book, Therapeutic Powers of Play yet by Dr. Schaefer and Dr. Druas, I definitely recommend that. or go to the Association for Play Therapy website, a4pt.org. There's some great trainings, some great information there. Play is incredibly healing. It helps out with so many things. There's so many good benefits to it. Specifically in this experience, I feel like I was able to express myself. I felt safe. I felt engaged. I had this way of deepening my communication. I just had fun where normally I probably wouldn't have done it. So, play has that beautiful way of helping us to go past the point where we think we can go. It's incredible, actually. The guru on this, Dr. Jessica Stone. If you haven't checked out her courses, she has a stack of books. I actually got to write a chapter in one of her books on my integration of EMDR and online play therapy, like play therapy online, not necessarily the digital games from my piece. Um, Check out her books. She is incredible. Dr. Rachel Altvader is incredible. They both took us to these places, especially when COVID started. Many of us were caught off guard and they held our hand through it all. But both of them were doing it long before COVID. So it's super cool. These people are amazing. I just bought some t shirts from Jess. They have this cool new logo out, which I can't wait to get it in the mail. All right, so here's my conversation with Fiona Hill. She's fun. You're going to love her. I can't wait to see her in person. I've never actually met her in person, nor have I met Dr. Jessica Stone in person. I have met Rachel Altvader. They're all just great human beings. I hope to meet all of them again at the upcoming conference, the Association for Play Therapy Conference in Missouri this year. I can't wait. That's the event of the year. You get these people together in the same place, and some incredible things happen. It's even fun in the elevator. You get to meet some of the most brilliantly playful people on the planet and learn from them. Play therapy is incredibly healing. So here's my conversation with Fiona Hill. Hey, Fiona, thank you so much for being on our Play Therapy Community podcast. In today's episode, we're going to talk all about a recent experience that I had with you and several other people playing online. And I think about the power of play therapy and why play therapy helps. And this really describes it. So, in specifically, digital play therapy, which is super cool. But before we do that, before we jump right in, let me have you tell people who you are and what you do.
Okay, great. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for asking me. So my name is Fiona Hill, and I'm a licensed professional counselor in the state of Missouri. World, my brain just left me. And I'm in private practice. I've been in private practice for about 3 years. And I have a background in community mental health, and I love play therapy. I love everything about it. So I'm excited to be here.
And I think about, just for those listening that can't see us, when I look at your background, you have the word play, very colorful. You have some colorful things. There's lots of cues of safety just looking at your image and especially looking at you. So recently, I would say recently, it's been several months now. I joined, yeah, maybe even like 3.5 months. It's been a while, but I'd never really met you. I'd just seen some of your posts on Facebook and some replies. But I had the chance to play in one of your Friday night therapist groups that you guys were doing at that time. And I thought the people that I was familiar with was Dr. Rachel Altvader and Dr. Jessica Stone, which I love those two people. I'm familiar with. I was like, yeah, I want to play. And then whoever they like, I'm sure I'll like. But when I got there, neither one of them were there. They had previous commitments. So here I was amidst people I didn't know. So I was also doing something I didn't feel comfortable with, that was playing an online game. We played Among Us. And I was like, oh gosh, I'm not good at this. All these negative cognitions flowing in. I'm not good at this. I don't know these people. They're really going to see how incompetent I am. These are like people that are really smart. I don't fit in. I'm different. I don't belong. They know how to do this. I don't. After an hour, I felt so deeply connected. Like I had made some of the I met the best people, made some of the best kind of relationships ever. And since then, I felt like, oh, I can't wait to have like Fiona on my podcast. She's amazing. She solves problems. She's so smart. It was stuff that I would have never, even through words, been able to learn about you and have that deep sense of trust and connectedness, as well as myself. Like I was able to grow my window of tolerance when it came to digital play. And that all happened during that time. So I
That's
just
amazing.
wanted to tell you,
Make me cry. You're gonna warm my heart.
play is fascinating, even online.
It is. It is. And we were just talking a little bit, before we started that most, if not all of the new people that I've met since the pandemic, I've never actually physically met them in person.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, so it has amazing potential. And there's lots and lots and lots and lots of things to discover about it that we're still learning.
Yeah, so many ways. I know, like you held up your coffee cup and it has that cool new logo.
Okay, so everybody close your eyes because I'm going to show it. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, open them.
Oh, that is beautiful. Oh my goodness, the eyes are headphones. That couldn't be cooler. Oh, I love
It makes
it.
coffee taste even better. So,
Great. Okay, so when we think about digital play, for those of us that's listening that may have like this viewpoint of like, okay, so that's just doing this or just doing that, there is like a whole array of option and choices. No, Dr. Stone, I mean, that's her jam. She has so many materials on that, courses, books, and resources. But when you think about, and I know that's a big part of your work, when you think about digital play, how would you describe it?
ooh.
It's a lot. It's like trying to describe the meaning of the universe.
Um, so yeah, so when you're asking me, my brain is not going to like a formal definition at all. It's really going to the relationship part of it and
Yes.
and what it's meant for me personally and also professionally is connection.
Yes. Connection, relationship.
Yeah.
Like uh, Dr. Perry talks about the most powerful type of therapy of all is human love. You connect with these people and think of like Dr. Porges's Polyvagal Theory work about oh gosh, I'm so excited you're going to be in my course.
I can't even wait. I can't even wait.
I got a little squirrel going on too. But the safety and connection, he says, we just want to feel safe in the arms of others. This
Mhm.
digital play experience allows us to do just that, and it opens up our connectedness with people that aren't within arm's reach.
Well, and if we even think about, because it really is the foundation, um, and Dr. Jennifer Lefebvre made a quote in a training that I was in with her, and I can't quote it verbatim. I actually have it on my desktop as a sticky note.
Oh,
But in essence, it talks about going back to the root of what our theoretical orientation is and how we reach people. And if we can go back to the root, then that allows us to expand our toolbox basically. And so then we don't have to be boxed in to one certain thing. And I really do feel that way about digital play. And Dr. Stone and I and Dr. Altvader and I, we talk a lot about it really is a both and. It's not an either or.
mm,
So if we go back to the foundation of Dr. Schaefer's therapeutic powers of play,
yes. Yeah.
how can you not? How it just looking at, aside from everything else, if we just look at the therapeutic powers of play and the fact that we are in a digital world that's not going away.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, I feel like it's been one of the gifts from, I was just talking to a client about this morning about like hard, difficult situations often bring about change that are positive. I feel like it's a positive thing that's happened. So you referenced the therapeutic powers of play, and I will put a link in the show notes. If those of us listening haven't heard about the Association for Play Therapy, definitely check that out. There's lots of great trainings in there, but specifically, they have an excellent article, and there's a book called The Therapeutic Powers of Play too. But there is an article, The Therapeutic Powers of Play, The Heart and Soul of Play Therapy, written by Dr. Schaefer and Mary Ann Peabody, Dr. Peabody. And in there, it has it's just a brief PDF, and it talks about facilitating communication, increasing personal strengths, fostering emotional wellness, enhancing relationships, and then there's subsets underneath each one of those. The therapeutic powers of play are fascinating. That's what's healing, and it can come out digital play. It does come out in digital play therapy, and it's fun as all get out. I like
What's
was
funny, and what's funny is you said at the beginning that I made you feel safe, kind of like an, I don't know if it's an inside joke or whatever, but it's a known fact that whenever I'm, and really even in session too, but even when I'm just playing with friends, I'm considered the lost friend in the game.
Oh, that's like your role that you keep repeatedly like assuming unintentionally.
Because I am completely directionally challenged.
Uh-huh.
And so if there's a way to get lost, I will find it.
And you allow yourself to kind of be whoever you are and
Yeah.
embrace that. People love that about you.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder if that added. I'm trying to intellectualize what it was, but at the end of the day, it was fun. I do remember a comment that you made. It's okay. So, Among Us, for those of you listening that are not familiar with this game, um, you have like an imposter. There's somebody, one of the people playing, that
Mhm.
is an imposter, and you have to pretend like you're not the imposter. So one time
Mhm.
I was the imposter, and you said, "I know it's not Jackie," and I was like, "Ooh, Fiona thinks I'm not the imposter." It was so playful and out of my comfort zone. Like the word imposter seems like any other realm, I'd be like, oh, that's like a cue of danger. But in that setting, it grew my like playful, like, ooh, I get to kind of feel what this feels like. And Fiona just trusts that I'm not, even though it's all random and it's all playful. It's a game. And it just created a relationship there that wasn't there before.
And and if we look at it from the clinical level, I can remember times where, clients would talk about, especially when Among Us first came out, lots of people were talking about it. And someone used part of the Among Us language. And I was so proud of myself because I knew what it meant.
You were
And
in.
yeah, I was so proud of myself because I knew what it meant. And I was able to say, hey, I know what that means. And so then that's building the connection with clients
Yeah.
because because they feel like we're a part of the world. Not that we have to know everything, because
The world.
never, we're never ever going to know everything. But our willingness to learn and our willingness to enter and to dive in
Ooh.
is powerful.
You matter, you're worthy, and then they get the I matter, I'm
Mhm.
worthy. And I think it gives them permission to kind of be whoever they are.
Yeah.
Like for me, like the directions, I don't follow like these long sets of this is how the game works. I
Like,
checked out about 20 seconds into the description. So when we started playing, and Michael was on there too. How do you say his last name? Michael Pella.
Michael Pedigo.
Yeah, Pettico, super nice guy. All of them are amazing. But he was describing something, and then as I would forget how to do something, he would give me some like, "Oh, you could do this," and I was like, I felt supported. I felt connected by people I didn't even know before, and then I knew afterwards. So that relationship you talked about, I feel like loud and
Yeah.
clear.
Yeah, and they can be great team building and connection building things, because when you're in those types of situations, um in the games, everybody naturally has a role, and they naturally fall into a role, just like you do with traditional play.
Yes.
you know
Yeah, it's so, so powerful. Okay, so we can't talk about this subject without talking about the virtual reality, which I so amazing. I thought it was called Oculus, but apparently Oculus is just the device, one of the many devices you could choose. Now I'm getting educated, but I am definitely going to take Dr. Stone's course.
Yeah,
So,
please do. Please
yeah,
do. Please do. Please do. Amazing.
could you describe that? I mean, from your experience, sometimes you could see the virtual sand tray in there. It's like a head device. Like, give people a understanding that may not be familiar with what it's like to be engaged in virtual reality and therapy.
Okay. Oh my goodness. So much. Immersive, I guess, is the word that comes to mind. So I actually so I wrote a blog on doctors, and it's on Dr. Stone's website, about an experience that I had in virtual reality,
Mhm.
where, and because it was quote unquote just a training, right? And so I had my own, so I had my own stuff going on. I'm
Yeah,
like, okay, I'm
life.
gonna go to this training. I'm gonna go into this training. So, life hat off, therapist hat off,
Yeah,
student hat on.
like we could do that.
Right? Yeah. Um, and so, so we were in the experiential part, and I was, I don't even, I don't even know if I have the words for it now. Um, but so I was, so I was sitting down, and I was sitting up against a wall, because in VR you can either sit or stand, and some things it's better to do one or the other. But I was like, I don't want to stand up, so I'm sitting down, but and my back is to the wall,
Mhm.
and I'm in this game. What was it? It was Job Simulator.
Okay.
And so I'm in this game, and I'm feeling so claustrophobic.
Oh, like
Like,
enclosed and
so yeah, so I'm in this space,
trapped.
and I'm just trying to figure out, like, where to move things, dude. I was just trying to make my coffee in the game.
Yeah.
Like, there's this coffee machine, and oh, okay, that's what I need. Can't figure it out what is going on.
Yeah.
And so finally,
Hold on, let me just interject something there. Notice that even hearing that, it's lighting up the same neural networks that hold your experience that's going on in the life path that you took off.
right, our brains disconnected, because I was thinking the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. So it's like a deeper equivalent of saying, hey, this is happening in my life.
yeah, yeah. And I'm like, why can't the coffee maker just work? Why isn't it not working? So, so I'm trying to get all these things to work and to fall into place, and none of them are, and so finally I was just like, okay, forget it. so in the game, I'm just like throwing everything around, like throwing everything on the
There
floor.
was a level of distress and just throwing things around. You were activated. You were in your sympathetic state. You were experiencing, you were
Yeah,
moving through the different states.
yeah.
Okay.
And so there was a copy machine.
Yeah.
So I looked at the lid and I put my head in it, and I made a copy of my brain, and a brain came out of the copy machine.
Oh my gosh. So all of that's embedded in the virtual reality. There's a copy machine that you can put your head in and
Uh-huh,
copy.
uh-huh.
Oh my goodness. How cool. Whoa. Oh my gosh. Let me
Yeah,
take a minute to
and,
think about that.
right.
Wow.
And
So you
so then,
wouldn't be able to do that in real life. You'd just be able to imagine that, but it was
yeah,
like you were experiencing it.
I opened it and I put my head in and I took a copy.
Girl.
So yeah, so it's like, okay, I'm done with this work stuff because it's not working. I'm gonna go to the vacation simulator.
Ooh, notice that you shifted from sympathetic and activated to I am going to intentionally move to ventral vagal. I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to move to a more regulated state right now. I have a choice.
Yep.
Oh, and I know when we're talking about that on a metaphorical level and we're doing that in a game, that actually it gives us, it can generalize over into our real life.
Mm-hmm.
What happened after that once you moved over into the vacation simulator, which seems like a nice place? I would like to join you at that place.
I'm like, so I immediately felt calm.
Oh, so you changed your state. You felt it differently.
Yeah, because the in the vacation simulator, there was a step 1, step 2, step 3. So then I had that felt safety
Oh,
of,
predictability. Oh, there's this sequential pre-planned. I feel
yep.
safer because things are predictable, they're structured, and that's what my nervous system needs right now is some structure and predictability.
So I went and turned on the bathwater in vacation simulator, and I was like, hey, this is great.
So different than the copy machine, but you needed that copy machine experience. And I think when we look at it from even like understanding from the polyvagal theory piece of you needed to have that sympathetic activation to get to ventral, and it gave you that experience.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you can actually be connected. And it's like, did you have other people in the vacation simulator with you, or was it by yourself?
Well, yeah. So we were all in the training together, and everybody each had their own headset. So we were in it together, but we were in it by ourselves.
Oh my,
We,
oh gosh. Okay, so big light bulb. I think of Dan Siegel's MWE, the MWE. I had the me. I was in it by myself, but I
mm-hmm.
was the we. That really speaks to, I've been reading the neurobiology of we for the gazillionth time, but it
Right.
speaks to the power of being able to be your own, have your own individual experience, as well as that connected experience. And it's very regulating and integrative.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So in this place, you were by yourself, but you were also together.
Yep.
Oh, describe it. Like, what was it? Was it a
Well,
big?
so and honestly, so as having this conversation, like I haven't. So we're talking about things that I was like, ooh, that explains it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, this is so cool. Um,
It is so cool. Let's just honor that, okay, first of all, our clients are like, wow, this is so cool without an understanding of actually what's happening on this, like neuroscience, physiological, like the whole autonomic nervous system. There's stuff happening. Meanwhile, they're playing. They're playing. They're
we
engaged.
we can just play, quote unquote. Sorry, I just had to say it. I just had to say it.
And you think about sometimes, I mean, the clients that come to us are coming to us in the aftermath of trauma. And sometimes they're mobilized, sometimes they're stuck and sitting on the couch and talking about their difficult experiences. Sometimes it's too painful. Sometimes they're so stuck and so deep in that felt sense of immobilization that talking either doesn't feel safe or it doesn't happen. It requires that prefrontal cortex to be activated and intellectualized, and we need more of a whole body immersive, like the word you used earlier. This digital play has the power, has the platform to make this happen. And you were in there with together with your buddies, but also yourself. What do you mean by that? Give me a visual of what that was. I was by myself, but also with others.
So there's what we call single player and multiplayer.
Okay.
And Vacation Simulator and Job Simulator are both single player
Okay.
games. So as far as I know, you can't enter into the same game. Whereas, my brain just left me. Whereas, so some of the games and the apps that Dr. Stone talks about in her training, one of them was it's called Multi-Brush, where so it's an art program where we all joined in the same same quote unquote room. So we could see each other's avatar, right?
Okay.
Another one. So we were just in a program called Engage, which is a multiplayer where you can go and be in the same place and see each other's avatar.
Yeah.
Job Simulator and Vacation Simulator, you can't.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you're in the game by yourself. But we were together because we had each other on Zoom.
Oh, so through technology, you had this togetherness. Oh my goodness, that's so metaphorical to life.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And just to define, some people may not be familiar with the word avatar. That's your little person, right? The little you.
That is a person.
The little you that has the felt sense, that has that human experience, the human organism that really needs that co-regulation, needs safety, that has this neuroception that's of safety or danger, or maybe a combination of the two. And then, I'm thinking about the Polyvagal Theory, all of these pieces, they have the hierarchy. Dana really brought it to life for us as therapists. It really taught us that we have three states of the autonomic nervous system: the ventral, the sympathetic, and the dorsal. The shutdown, neither one of them is good or bad. They just are all necessary. You're able to go through all those pieces just in that one experience on a very deep level from the comfort of your own home.
Yep.
That's incredible.
Yep. And so this isn't virtual reality related, but it is digital play related, where I had a Minecraft experience.
Okay.
And so I also wrote about this one too, but so I needed to learn Minecraft because so many of my clients are like, Fiona, Minecraft, Fiona, Minecraft, Fiona, Minecraft. Like, okay. Like I was avoiding it because I felt like it was
resistance,
overwhelming. Because I felt like it was too overwhelming, just the logistics of it. And that's, sorry, squirrel again. But that's where we get into what Dr. Stone talks about a lot, and I've adopted is that comfort level and that competence level. How do we get it? How do we bridge the gap?
Oh, that's when the window of tolerance is small. Like, oh, this Minecraft is so overwhelming. I'm not going to do it. There's this resistance.
Yeah. So and I'm not saying that everybody needs to practice this way, but I spent a whole weekend of like, okay, I'm going to figure this thing out.
Oh.
And so I'm, so I'm in Minecraft and I'm creating this world or whatever. And I dig down and I get stuck.
Oh.
And it's dark.
I'm stuck. I'm trapped.
Yes.
That's
and I'm like,
oh.
Okay. So, so I try to get it out. I'm like, okay, so like you were talking about is that window of tolerance. Okay, I'm done. I can't do it anymore.
I'm ready to stay in dorsal vagal. I'm done with this. I'm just going to check out.
Yep, shut it off. And then I went back and I
Uh,
tried again. Nope, can't do it. And then like the third or fourth time, I was like, Fiona,
ooh,
I
girl.
have resources. You're in creative mode. You can get a lantern.
Oh my goodness. So Fiona, that's the adaptive information. Oh my gosh, I'm getting so excited. That through the EMDR language, your AIP just really was able to kick in and it moved you to this mobilized state, this sympathetic state. Like, I don't need to stay stuck. I have options. I have choices. I have resources. I'm going to get the heck out of here.
Yep. So I got my lantern, put it up, and then I could see my way out.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so what happened after that? I could see my way out.
Got out, and I was like, whoa. And so then I felt empowered.
Oh, so you shifted. So let's look at the framework. You shifted from dark, stuck, and it was hard. It wasn't like just a little bit of effort got you out. You really had to work out.
Probably some therapeutic work that I need to do around that.
Oh yeah, and it though, and just kind of look at it through those neural networks are lit up. Whether we're talking about being stuck underground in this digital world, or we're talking about being stuck in a relationship that is dangerous, or being stuck in a job that disempowers us, or being stuck in this life that we feel like, or this car that is wrecked and we're reliving this being trapped, and then you allowed yourself to be mobilized through the polyvagal language. It's sympathetic. You
Like a
did that.
light
It's hard.
off. Yeah, it was like it was like a metaphorical light went off. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I can have light.
You were able to tap into your resources. You felt hope, so much hope to where it mobilized you, and then eventually you went to Ventral. You moved through all three states in that one experience. And before you weren't even doing Minecraft because it was too overwhelming.
Yep.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I could literally talk about this to you all day, but we're almost out of time. I just love you. Now I feel even more connected. Okay, so before we go, just if you could just mention your website name, or anywhere people can go to learn more from you, or to get any kind of consultation, or any trainings. I know Dr. Stone has a lot of stuff. I know Dr. Altvader is a great resource as well.
Is yeah. Yeah.
They're so fun too. They're like you guys are like a fun group of people. But what are your I could just go off on a tangent. What are your websites for people just listening? And they'll definitely be below this in the notes as well.
So my website is my name.
Okay.
Fiona F as in Frank, Iona Hill,
Mhm,
Hill,
mhm.
and then LPC. That stands for Licensed Professional
Okay.
Counselor.com.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. And I'll put the link for that and the link to Dr. Stone's books and her trainings below. When you said Fiona, it's funny. I think we have that in common. Our like associations go. I was like, oh, that's such a beautiful name. It reminds me of Fiona off of Shrek. I love Shrek.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I tried to get I okay, so I have to say this, but I was going through McDonald's years ago when they had the Shrek figurines. So like, oh, my name is Fiona. So would you just be willing to like give me something like
For my name being the same as Fiona.
like, and they're like, no. I'm like,
Oh,
really? My name is Fiona.
oh, hey, I sense some activation when you think about that. Zero neutral, 10 the most. How distressing is it at this moment, the fact that they wouldn't honor they wouldn't honor your
Now that
request?
I'm thinking about it, like probably like a 4 or 5 because I'm like, dude, please say my name.
Girl, we can target that. All right, I will see you later. You take care. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. To learn more about the polyvagal theory, I recommend learning everything you can from Dr. Stephen Porges and Deb Dana. Dr. Stephen Porges has brought to us so much great information about our autonomic nervous system and how to be able to navigate in between the states. Oh, and the safe and sound protocol. Such good stuff. And anything and everything from Deb Dana that you can consume is definitely valuable. Deb Dana really helps us to understand it in our world of therapy. So they do have a lot of videos on YouTube, but they're very generous with their knowledge. Her books are fantastic. So are his. Specifically, the Befriending the Nervous System one, actually Polyvagal Theory and Therapy, all of them are great. I do like Audible because you can listen to them, especially the Befriending the Nervous System. She has a lot of activities in there. So if you would like to learn more about the Polyvagal Theory, going straight to them as the primary sources is well worth your time, energy, and money. All right, take care. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Play Therapy Community Podcast. Visit www.playtherapycommunity.com for more and join our Facebook group, Play Therapy Community. Until next time, take care. Bye now.